game suspension for his hit on Steelers receiver Antonio Brown on Saturday night, which he will serve at the beginning of next season. Brown going through the concussion protocol right now. He's doubtful for the game on Sunday in Denver. In the NBA last night, it was the Warriors whacking the Heat 111-103 for their 36th consecutive home win. That's the fourth longest streak in NBA history. The record is 44 straight, set by the Bulls about 20 years ago. Stephen Curry had 31 points. He's good. Spurs ripped the Nets 106-79 for their 8th straight win, 25 points and 11 rebounds for LaMarcus Aldridge. Brooklyn, meantime, has dropped 10 in a row at home. They fired their coach over the weekend, Lionel Hollins. Apparently that wasn't the problem. Wizards whipped the Bulls 114-100. John Wall, 17 points and 10 assists. NHL, Canucks clipped the Panthers 3-2 in overtime, ending Florida's 12-game winning streak. Daniel Sedin, 2 goals, including the winner in OT. Kings doubled up the Red Wings 4-2. Andrei Kopitar with a goal and 3 assists. LA has now won 7 of 9 since Christmas. And that is a Star Trek reference. Rangers edged the Bruins 2-1. Jesper Foss deflected in the winner with 1:42 to go, and the Sharks nipped the Flames 5-4. College basketball, that triple overtime thriller last Monday between number 1 Kansas and number 2 Oklahoma, apparently convinced the pollsters that they got it right. The Jayhawks and Sooners remain number 1 and 2 in the rankings this week. Kansas receiving 63 of 65 first-place votes in the AP poll and all 32 number 1 votes in the USA Today. Oklahoma got 1 top vote from a writer to come in second, just ahead of Maryland and Michigan State, which got the other number 1 vote. North Carolina moved up to 5th. Top 5, the same in both polls. No games last night on the hardwood, as everybody wanted to see the football game, but they'll be back at it tonight. And soccer, Lionel Messi wins the Ballon d'Or. The Golden Ball is the top soccer player in the world for a record 5th time. Messi played 61 matches for his Barcelona club, and the Argentine national team scored 52 goals and added 26 assists. He also won the award 4 consecutive times from 2009 to 2012. Cristiano Ronaldo, who edged out Messi the last 2 years, scored 57 goals for Real Madrid in Portugal this year, and that was good enough for second. It came down to silverware. Messi's teams won 5 trophies last year. Ronaldo was shut out. That's Tuesday Sports.
Live long and prosper there, Robert.
There you go.
It is 7 before the hour.
Just a snake in the grass. Just a snake in the grass.
In the grass is one thing, someplace else, well, that's a story. And it's ahead on America in the Morning after these messages.
Hey, but you ain't gonna worry me.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 6 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the 2nd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Get the IRS off your back now with one phone call. Talk to a live professional tax relief agent and stop worrying about your tax problems. Wall & Associates offers free face-to-face consultations. That's right, a free face-to-face consultation with a knowledgeable tax specialist. That's the Wall difference. It's easy. We solve tax problems. Call 800-773-5750. That's 800-773-5750. You always speak with a live person. If you owe the IRS, your tax problems will not go away. No other company can help you like Wall. Our average client settles for about 10% of their tax debt. Wall & Associates has settled thousands of cases for a small fraction of what was owed. You always speak with a live person. Call now for a free face-to-face consultation, not a solicitation for legal services. Call 800-773-5750. That's 800-773-5750. 800-773-5750.
5 minutes before the hour, David Bowie's last video is a goodbye to his fans. Rick Damangella has that and more in our Hollywood Minute.
Look up here, I'm in heaven.
David Bowie's Lazarus music video appears to be an orchestrated farewell. Released just before his death, the video depicts Bowie in a hospital bed and writing. Bowie's producer said via social media, his death was not different from his life, a work of art. He made Black Star for us his parting gift. Bowie's album Black Star, released on January 8th, his 69th birthday, has shot to the top of the UK album chart and the US iTunes download chart.
I like what you're doing out there.
Creed is training to get back in the ring. Variety says MGM is looking to release the film's sequel in November 2017. Sylvester Stallone, who just won Best Supporting Actor at the Golden Globes for Creed, tells the publication the plot could be set in the past and feature Carl Weathers as the late Apollo Creed. Curtain calls for The Hateful Eight? Many have said Quentin Tarantino's Golden Globe-winning film feels like a theater production, and the director says he plans to adapt the story for the stage. Tarantino tells The Wrap he also plans to direct the theatrical version. I'm Rick Damigella.
A snake swiping caught on camera. Nora Hart reports on a thief who tried really hard to look casual.
Kristen Bugan is all about the animals. Hey, buddy. From birds to lizards and everything in between, she takes care of them all at A to Z Pets on Southwest Division Street. So it came as a shock when someone swiped one of her rarest reptiles.
He stole our $200 black pastel ball python.
After getting the call Friday that the snake was gone, Kristen has spent the better part of her Saturday reviewing surveillance footage.
There's cameras everywhere, and you'd think that people would see them.
And when she spotted the suspected snake thief on film,
this guy right here,
she was even more surprised to see what he does after he reaches into the tank.
And you'll see him put it in his pants. Yuck. Just drops it right in the front.
A short time later, you see him waddle out of the store,
trying to act like there's not a snake in his pants.
Kristen says she's seen this man in her shop before, but this time he was with a blue-haired woman who seemed to be in on the theft.
He gave her the keys to the car.
So now the search is on.
Anytime anything like this happens, it's very frustrating because we work very hard to run the business and make a living.
To find the thief and the 2-foot python.
He's lucky it wasn't feeding day. Feeding days are on Mondays. And they're very hungry.
Nora Hart, Oregon.
So if you're in Portland, look out for that snake. Today is Tuesday, January 12th, 2016. We've got a theme going here. In 1773, the first public museum in America organized in Charleston, South Carolina. In 1959, Berry Gordy Jr. founded Motown Records in Detroit, the house they used as studios, now a museum. And in 1968 on this date, Motown superstars The Supremes appeared in an episode of NBC's Tarzan. They played a group of nuns. I don't think they did the Tarzan yell. And that's it for America in the Morning, produced by Tom Dulac. Associate producer and webmaster is Paul Hill, senior producer Kevin Delaney. I'm Michael Toscano, and this is Westwood One News.
The Tom Hartman Show, live 9 to noon, weekdays on iFIBER ONE Newsradio.
This is not an election cycle where middle-of-the-road Democrats are going to stir up enough of the base and enough excitement and enthusiasm that they're going to seriously win elections. And that's the thing that Republicans have figured out and Democrats have yet to learn, which is that elections are not about swaying so-called undecided voters. They're about stirring up the base. The base will bring the undecided voters along with them. They'll do it through social media. They'll do it through talking to their neighbors. They'll do it by talking to people in the workplace. But you've got to energize the base.
The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents.
Patrick in Texas says, my wife thinks we should have an emergency credit card. How can I explain to her that this is a terrible idea? Well, the last time on earth that you need to go into debt at 18% interest would be at a time when your family has an emergency. What you need is money. If you had $20,000 set aside for an emergency fund, you wouldn't need an emergency credit card, right?
The Dave Ramsey Show, weekdays from noon to 3 on iFIBER ONE Newsradio. The Chad Benson Show, live weekdays from 3 to 6 on iFIBER ONE Newsradio, AM 1030 and FM 1033, KMAS Shelton.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. President Obama says he wants to share his optimism about the future in tonight's State of the Union address, his last one.
Since I took office 7 years ago in the midst of crisis, I don't think I have ever been more optimistic about a year ahead. than I am right now.
But a new poll suggests it could be a tough sell since a majority of Americans think the nation is heading in the wrong direction. An alarming assessment from the Royal Bank of Scotland, which is urging customers to sell everything and predicting a cataclysmic economic downturn. Art Hogan, chief market strategist at Wunderlich Securities, says RBS may be basing its warning on the assumption that China is slipping into recession.
China's economy is certainly slowing, but it's doing a whole lot better than the stock market is. So I think some of the draconian calls for a 20% pullback across the board in global equity markets is probably getting a bit ahead of itself.
Oil prices have dropped to a 12-year low. Bo Bergdahl returns to a military courtroom in North Carolina today. ABC's Jim Ryan is following his story.
The story of the soldier who left his post in Afghanistan in 2009 has been told largely by the soldier himself in the podcast called Serial.
As a private first class, nobody is going to take me serious.
But Bo Bergdahl still faces court-martial this summer for abandoning his post and endangering the soldiers sent to find him after his capture by the Taliban. Today's is a procedural hearing leading up to the trial that could land Bergdahl in prison for life. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The newest government guidelines suggesting women 50 to 74 get breast cancer screenings every other year are drawing fire. A prestigious doctors group is recommending every year. The new report suggests women in their 40s decide based on their individual risks. A college reporter called out Ciara on the internet for the revealing dress she wore to sing the national anthem at the Alabama-Clemson game. She tweeted, "Cover up, kids are watching." The online backlash was fast and fierce. One fan tweeted, "How dare she partially reveal her body when children are watching 21-year-olds destroy each other for no money." This is ABC News.
Honey, I'm really worried about our retirement funds.
Oh, me too. We lost so much value in the recession in the stock market. I'm worried we won't have enough to retire.
Jim next door told me that he had set up a new kind of IRA with a gold-silver group. He said how simple and safe it was. It's a private storage IRA, and we could have real gold and silver in our hands.
Really? You mean we can actually see it and touch it?
Absolutely. Jim said we could have all the benefits of an IRA to help build our retirement income. Bottom line, we would own a real tangible asset, and we would have the security of knowing we're protected no matter what the economy does. What do you think?
I think we need to find out how to get our own private storage IRA. We need to call the Gold Silver Group right now.
Are you ready to protect your future? Call 800-295-6803 now to find out how easy and safe it is to set up a private storage IRA with Gold Silver Group, and find out how you can qualify for up to $700 in free silver. All transactions are privately delivered and fully insured. Please call us now. 800-295-6803. 800-295-6803.
The autopsy report on the American artist found dead in Florence, Italy, has brought a new twist to the case. More from ABC's Megan Williams.
Police in Florence say the autopsy on the body of Florida woman Ashley Olsen confirms that she was strangled to death. 35-year-old Olsen had been living in Florence for 3 years when her lifeless body was discovered in her apartment over the weekend. Police are searching for information on whom Olsen might have met hours before her death when she was at a nightclub. Olsen also posted a picture of herself from behind on Instagram last year, saying it had been taken by a stalker. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
Elton John says he's still in shock over the death of David Bowie. Bono tweeted his reaction in a line from a Bowie song, "Planet Earth is Blue." Bowie's final album contains a chilling video in which he seemingly bids fans goodbye. It shows him in a hospital bed, his eyes covered by bandages, and singing, "Look at me, I'm in heaven." Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
From the iFIBER ONE News Radio studios, I'm Marilyn Foster. Effective this month, KMAS Radio of Shelton will merge with iFIBER One, a division of iFIBER Communications. The merger is intended to provide enhanced news service to iFIBER Communications customers in the Mason County and South Puget Sound areas. Kelly Ryan, CEO and founder of iFIBER Communications, says they are extremely excited to add KMAS to the iFIBER Communications family, adding that KMAS has a solid listenership and that their leadership team brings extensive knowledge to iFIBER's mix. Dale Hubbard, who becomes president of iFIBER One, says this is a great opportunity for KMAS News Radio to fully engage our listeners and our visitors to KMAS.com with expanded and extensive daily news coverage to the local area. The day-to-day operations of KMAS Radio are expected to remain the same, continuing coverage of local news, sports, weather, and information from Mason County and the South Sound. Dale Hubbard and Jerry Eckenrode, owners of Olympic Broadcasting Incorporated and KMAS, joined the iFIBER communications team on January 1st. The 2016 legislative session began yesterday at the Capitol. Among the issues expected to be covered during this session is agreeing on a plan to fully fund public schools by the 2018 deadline set by the Washington State Supreme Court. 35th District Representative Drew McEwen got to work early, meeting with the governor last week to talk about cybersecurity. He shared more about that meeting with Daybreak.
It was at the request of the governor's office. We had folks from everything from the White House, Homeland Security, FBI. The cybersecurity threat, it's real. A lot of it does not come from inside the United States. We have pretty strong laws. It's Eastern Europe, it's Asia, and again, it's whether it's a cyber vandal or state-sponsored, and it's one thing for the federal government to be able to respond, another thing for the state to be able to respond, but a real issue when you think about our local jurisdictions, whether it be a hospital district, a PUD, utilities, I mean, it's huge. They don't necessarily have the resources to be able to respond rapidly, and really put that in perspective. Last year, the Office of Personnel Management, federal government level, was hacked. If they're vulnerable, it just really puts into perspective how vulnerable the rest of it is. So we're trying to find some ways to address those issues.
Drew says there are 25 billion devices that are connected right now, and it's projected to be 50 billion by 2020. A citizen coalition has filed an initiative proposal to boost the state minimum wage to $13.50 over 4 years and expand paid sick leave. Backers will need 246,372 valid signatures of registered Washington voters by July 8th in order to qualify for the fall statewide ballot. For iFIBER One News Radio, 1030 KMAS and FM 103.3, I'm Mary Lynn Foster.
The craziness is returning to the kennel.
Wiltshire behind his back with a dribble, and he scores! Zakarnowski to his left, pulls up, shoots, scores, and a foul.
Zags basketball from IMG.
Corner, Nelson driving, baseline, and a two-handed throw-down dunk. Oh my goodness, Silas Nelson!
From tip-off to the final buzzer.
And throws it down with two hands.
Follow the action all season long on your home for Bulldogs basketball, the Gonzaga IMG Sports Network.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Falls to the Tide. Hey there, you, Chuck Sievertson reporting on sports.
For the 16th time ever, and for the 4th time in 7 years, the Alabama Crimson Tide is the champion of college football. Wow.
Eli Gold with the call from Learfield Sports. With the game tied at 24 in the second half, Alabama shifted the momentum with this gutsy call.
Onside kick is recovered by Bama at midfield. Griffith with an onside kick to his right, pops it up in the air, and Marlon Humphrey caught it at midfield. Man, talk about a huge dice roll there.
That's Mike Tirico, ESPN Radio. Crimson Tide head coach Nick Saban on the decision to go with a pooch kick.
I felt like if we didn't do something or take a chance to change the momentum of the game, that, we wouldn't have a chance to win.
Success. This is ABC Sports. The Golden State Warriors stay perfect at 18-0 at home with a win against Miami. Steph Curry has an injured left leg, but still manages to score 31 points.
Left sideline off a screen, deep three, got it! That's a backbreaker for Steph Curry.
On KNBR, the guard says the bruise in his leg will take about 4 weeks to fully heal.
We've done a good amount and just keep addressing it, keep treating it. I'll keep playing and hopefully over time get through it.
The San Antonio Spurs enjoying their visit to New York City.
Dial, touch pass inside to Aldridge, to the right corner, Leonard for 3. Kawhi not. Excellent ball movement by the Spurs. Tony Brown wants a timeout, and the Spurs starting to pull away now. It's a 23-point lead.
On WOAI, Spurs win 106-79. The Wizards down the Bulls 114-100. On the ice, the Rangers grab a valuable 2 points against Boston in a 2-1 win. San Jose drops Calgary 5-4. Los Angeles beats Detroit 4-2. Chuck Sievertson, ABC Sports.
6:10 for iFIBER One News Radio. I'm Jeff Slakey, and my goodness, this past weekend, I should say. Good morning, Carol. Carol here too as well. Daybreak.
I'm Carol Gardner
on iFIBER One News Radio. Seahawks comeback win. We were all watching it. We were all on bated breath, listening to it here on iFIBER One, and the comeback win over the Vikings, the most watched early Sunday NFL wildcard game on record. Why are you texting me that?
Oh, did I text you something?
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
We're right next to each other. Just talk to me. The most watched wildcard game on record. NBC said Monday that Seattle's 10-9 victory in those frigid conditions averaged 35.3 million viewers, and that's up 25% from the 28.3 million for last year's Bengals-Colts matchup. These records go back to 1988. Now let's move on to high school sports, shall we? Today is Tuesday, and there is bowling at home against Capital at Westside Lanes at 3 o'clock. Boys swimming, Central Kitsap at the Olympic Aquatic Center at Kitsap. That's where the boys will be headed. And in wrestling, it's the girls' round-robin tour at Central Kitsap High School. We've got video casts of high school basketball on KMAS.com tomorrow. Boys basketball versus Foss at the Mini Dome. And after that, Friday night, same time, same place. This time, the boys take on Capital. Sean Wells will be providing us the coverage on those games. And Sean will find himself up at North Mason tonight, filming and covering the wrestling, hosting Olympic. Tomorrow, he'll be for the Shelton basketball broadcast versus Foss. Thursday, you can find sports broadcaster Sean Wells at the St. Martin's home game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, again, he'll be doing the little basketball for us again on KMAS.com against Capital. So good stuff there. We have got football this weekend, the divisional playoffs. Got all the games for you here on iFIBER One. Saturday, our coverage begins at 1 with the Chiefs and the Patriots, then Green Bay at Arizona. Sunday morning, your Seahawks take the field in Carolina to take on the Panthers. And we're going to have a 7:30 pregame, 9:30 kickoff. I'm going to check on that because that is pretty early, but we'll make sure that that's just about right. KMAS covers, iFIBER One covers the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, checking weather, here's Carol.
Right now it's 33, and it's going to be rainy throughout the day and evening, continuing overnight. 45 is the expected high today with an overnight low of 41. Rainfall is forecasted to be about 1/4 of an inch. Of rain and mid-40s daytime temps will continue through the week. Right now, Friday looks to be the best day with some possible sun in between the rain showers. Right now, it's 43.
Now, from the iFIBER One News Radio studios, it's Daybreak. Providing local news, sports, weather, and interviews to the South Sound's most important people. You. From business leaders to politicians, from activists for change to advocates for the poor, your neighbors and newsmakers are here on Daybreak.
All right, 6:14, iFIBER One. You heard it in the news. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Carol. So that happened, and we are so excited about becoming part of the iFIBER One News family.
We are very excited.
And we've talked a lot. Sean Wells came to us from the other side of the mountains in Ephrata, where iFIBER One is global headquarters. And Jeff Chu as well, you've seen around town, our new couple reporters. And we are looking to increase and add the depth and breadth of the coverage that we have come to know over so many decades being on the radio. And this is just going to add one other layer of great news coverage for you all around the South Sound, and very exciting. And we'll talk more about it throughout the morning. But this morning, we do have a lot of great guests coming on the air. In about an hour, 35th District Representative Dan Griffey will be here. We'll also talk to Jackie McAlevey about a rec center, and also because Jackie McAlevey did a lot of good work with Splash, the group that kept the pool around here. And then Environmentally Sound this morning, 8:45. We'll live the country life in about a half an hour. And that's what's going on. Good morning. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty tired, actually.
I bet you are. We have It's amazing these days in the technology and how to switch things. Maybe if you have been married or divorced, I suppose, works as well, and you need to change your names and change your social media properties and websites. And
I'm not quite sure what marriage and divorce has to do with that.
Well, because we're moving from KMAS to iFIBER One.
Right.
So if we got married, you have to change. You
I
don't
get
have
it,
to,
Jeff, but it's really not the best way to think about it. But basically, when you have a lot of social media presence, it's amazing how many things you have entangled yourself in, and all the stuff that you have to change. So it's sort of a crazy thing. So I was up half the night trying to figure out how do you change everything. It seems like it should be very easy, but for some reason, social media, they make it difficult to find where you put stuff. I mean, it is crazy. And then sometimes you end up making 2 accounts accidentally for some reason. And so it
is tough.
It is tough. And so we also had our website. I changed pretty much everything from KMAS to iFIBER. So we are iFIBER One News Radio, that is. So we are the same folks. Pretty much expanded folks. We got the
more
2
folks.
Yep, we got 2 new on this side. We got 2 new reporters, which is great. We have like you mentioned this Sean for the sports, which is great for all the local coverage and more. And Jeff Chu will be deepening our reporting that we've had. We've had reporting, but we want to follow up and go deeper and do that
now
a
we
little
have the
more
ability.
with Jeff. And so make some comments on our website and on our Facebook pages. We've had some interesting comments so far.
Sure. The other thing about these websites is it's hard to get someone on the phone, and they very rarely post a phone number. I've had to deal with these, like go to Google. There's no 1-800 Google.
Yeah, everybody be calling.
And then how do you find the number? Because you can't Google it because they don't have it on their.
Yeah.
You have to bing Google's phone number, I think.
I think so. It's a difficult one.
6:17 here at iFIBER One News Radio, and it's Daybreak. NFL Now has a segment from Westwood One in just a few moments. Great college football championship last night, Alabama, with the big victory, and Nick Saban there. Once again, he's smiling. We've got the State of the Union for you tonight on iFIBER One News Radio. It's going to start right at 6. And the president will have his final State of the Union. And then right after that, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley will issue the Republican response. So that'll be right here on iFIBER One. And that's all coming up throughout the day today. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee has announced new orders that seek to increase accountability around technology systems run by state agencies. The directive is a result of thousands of prisoners mistakenly released over 13-year period. At least 2 deaths now have been connected to those let out early. Inslee says he is requiring directors of state agencies to catalog what he considers critical information technology systems and make sure any known issues are prioritized correctly among other orders. We talked with Drew McEwen last week about some of the work that he had done with Jay Inslee about those things. And I think that this could be a real focal point for the session this year.
I think so too. I mean, we just experienced it when we did our switchover. All the little techno things that we had to do to change, which were minuscule compared to this. I'm not comparing it, but it's easy. And I'm not saying that they should get off easy. I mean, this is a 13-year period, but somebody does something and then somebody goes away and then somebody doesn't realize something was done. And there's little tiny spots. So it's something to focus on. It's very, you have to be very organized and keep up on it. That's the thing, is because tech's changing all the time. So something you thought wasn't relevant anymore is still probably working somewhere in the system.
I mean, just think about the technology 13 years ago when this started to happen. They may have still been paper records 13 years ago on when these people get out, and then you scan one, you scan two. Oh, one falls on the ground. Did I scan that? I don't know.
Exactly.
Westwood One has our NFL Now segment on iFIBER One. Daybreak, AM 1030 and FM 103.3. Good morning to you. It's 6:19 here at iFIBER One News Radio.
You're listening to Daybreak on iFIBER One News Radio.
I'm Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict has been suspended without pay for the first 3 games of the 2016 regular season for repeated violations of safety-related playing rules. Burfict's most recent violation came in last Saturday's wild-card playoff game against the Steelers, when he was penalized for unnecessary roughness for using his shoulder to make forcible contact to the head and neck area of Antonio Brown, who at the time was a defenseless receiver. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport is reporting that Burfict will appeal the 3-game suspension, according to his agent. Rappaport is also reporting, according to a source, that Steelers running back DeAngelo Williams visited a foot specialist on Monday. It's not looking good for Williams to play in Sunday's AFC divisional game against the Broncos. Williams hasn't played since injuring his foot in Week 17. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guide, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 6 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in